I told you so. It's okay, I finished the coffee. It's real coffee. What kind of psychopath fakes drinking coffee? But I digress. 2 days ago, the Bank of Canada gave us their rate announcement. I said they were wrong. I said I'd be proven right. It's Friday, June 6th, and the evidence is in. So I'm going to show you that evidence. I'm going to show you that I'm not the only one who thinks this was a mistake. And for the trolls who think that this has nothing to do with the Bank of Canada, I'm going to show you the Bank of Canada Act. Let me start there. The Bank of Canada Act. This is the Bank of Canada's lawful duty. It's their entire raison d'etre, if you will. This is legalese. If you're a troll, try and follow along. I know you guys are not good with words and shit. Whereas it is desirable to establish a central Bank of Canada to regulate credit and currency in the best interest of the economic life. Oh, the economic life! The best interest of the economic life of the nation, to control and protect the external value of the national monetary unit and to mitigate, by its influence, fluctuations in the general level of production, trade, prices, and employment. Oh, that's interesting. It's not their mandate, it's their legal duty is what it is. Now, before I go on, I want to point out that I'm not the only one who thinks that this was a bad idea. David Rosenberg thinks it's a bad idea too. See, Tiff said there was uncertainty because of this whole trade problem, and David Rosenberg, head of Rosenberg Research, says what the Bank of Canada should be doing if you want to find out the best way to protect the Canadian economy in this bug of uncertainty is just stimulate the economy. I can't do that, it's going to cause inflation. Do you remember when I showed you this a few weeks ago when we got rid of the carbon tax? This is the inflation rate. That orange line is the headline rate. This blue line is what the rate would be if we didn't have the carbon tax. That line is 3%. That line is 1%. Oh, look at that. Inflation is within the target range, even with the carbon tax in place. But if they had pulled the carbon tax out of the calculation, which is what they should have done from the get-go, inflation would be down here, right around 2%, and it would have plunged in the fall of last year down to 1%. And this is where we're really at. So inflation is low, well within their target range, so inflation ain't the problem. How's those fluctuations in employment doing? Canada's unemployment rate ticks up to 7% in May, highest in 9 years outside the pandemic. Oh, is that good? Is that good? Is that a bad sign? Seems like a bad sign. Like, it don't look good. That looks like a big fluctuation to me. You know, and high rates, it makes debt more expensive, makes it more difficult to pay debt, and if you don't have a job, you really can't pay that debt. And what about the economy? How's the economy doing? Canadian exports to the U.S. plunged in April, but CUSMA compliance rose. So that's silver lining, I guess. So what do they say here? The data is consistent with an add to Canadian GDP growth in Q1 from net trade and an import-led jump in equipment investment reversing in Q2. And with our expectations that broader GDP growth will slow sharply after outperforming expectations in Q1. That doesn't sound good. Where's the silver lining, if you want to call it that? Well, here is 100% of our trade, okay? This dark blue is what's CUSMA compliant and tariff-free. That bright blue color, that is what has tariffs. And that gray area is just what it seems. It's a gray area. Probably should have tariffs, but doesn't. Now, very little gray area. You're either CUSMA compliant or you're not. Not that the US even gives a shit. How is the market reacting to this? Poorly, apparently. Remember, when people sell their bonds, the yields go up. Yields going up, that means people are selling their bonds. So somebody somewhere needs to break into their savings, get some cash, sell their bonds prematurely. Maybe it's those folks that got to cover that debt. So just to recap, employment is shit. The economy is shit. And likely heading towards being shittier. The bonds are selling off. And the Bank of Canada held their rates. Because they're being reactive. I wonder how they're going to react to this.